So the move from a cafe to some kind of an event. That's what this second segment's about. I'm calling it From Coffee to Culture. So we've been getting together at Guido's. We're now entering our fourth year in September. And we've decided that we needed to move from just an informal conversation to more of a creative space. And we're doing it, and we booked a place. But before that, I'm going to have to make some musical commentary about it. And since culture around here usually is classical, I'm going to deliberately play blues. Well, if you could be so kind to help me find my mind, I'd like to thank you in advance. Know this before we start. My soul's been torn apart. I lost my mind in wild romance. The future is my past. These memories will last. I got to live the love of days gone by. Each day that comes and goes is like the one before. I lost my mind the day I died. The words would fail me if I tried to describe her. Although I know she's not all she should have been. She was the devil with the face of an angel. She was sweet and cruel, cruel and sweet as homemade sin. Well, if you could be so kind to help me find my mind, I'd like to thank you in advance. Know this before we start. My soul's been torn apart. I lost my mind in wild romance. Gotta end the singing because I need to say a few things and there's running out of time. So, from coffee to culture. The purpose of singing a song called Lost Mind is because creative people frequently feel like they have lost their mind. It's not just about love affairs. It could be a love affair with your idea, with what you're trying to do, with that book that you've been writing for 20 years, but it's still not done. Or that painting that you're still painting, but then you did one more stroke and you wrecked it. The creative process busts a lot of stuff. And that is the very reason why we need to move out of the coffee house, where we're just having a conversation and playing out, and move from an informal gathering to some kind of a creative space. The conversations over a few years, you get a bunch of creative people together and the conversations become collaborations. They start bands. They start playing stuff together. They start correcting each other's words and writing. Every artist needs a place to express themselves as a creative person. There aren't that many places to show up if you're the creative person. There are a lot of places to show up to be in the audience and pay a lot of dollars for tickets and feel like you're cultured because you're paying attention to other people being creative. That does not do very much for your creativity. If you're creative, you want to get out and do something yourself and not necessarily do it for the audience, but do it for your other creative peeps that you're spending time with. That's why this piece I chose to play by Tom Waits is called Lost Mind, because you do lose your mind in the creative process. In fact, that's part of the reason to do it. When the world is crazy, life impinges upon you, and then you feel the need to re-emit into the world something. And that's a creative process. If the world impinges upon me going to a concert hall and sitting with my hands folded in my lap and listening to somebody else create, that does not do anything for my soul whatsoever. It does nothing for their soul. I need to play even less perfectly, even a lot less perfectly, in order to feel like I'm part of the world and I'm in this relationship with the universe, this dance of being alive. I don't get as much out of being passive. It doesn't work so much for me. So that's why we've decided to creating this harvesting infinity kind of a expression salon, which we're calling Berkshire's Culture Salon. And Berkshire's, not Berkshire with an apostrophe or a plural, it's deliberately ambiguous because it's culture from the Berkshires. It's Berkshire's culture. It's not Manhattan culture imported to the Berkshires. It's Berkshire's culture in the Berkshires for Berkshire creative artists. So we're starting actually on the last Sunday night of the month, beginning November 30th, that's this month, to every month at the end of the month on Sunday night to have an expression salon. And we've rented Dewey Hall in Sheffield to do this for creative, artistic people to show up and to express themselves to each other and have it not be as performative as it is expressive. It's not as much about there's us, the performers, and then there's the audience who are the recipients. Our theory is that the performers and the audience are actually the same people, because there are so many creative people around here that why do we have to have this artificial wall between being performative and externally validated by the audience? Why not have an interactive conversation? I love TED Talks, but there's no Q&A at the end, and I have questions. And this is a place where people can express themselves, read from their books, and then ask the audience, so what do you think about that chapter? It's a different thing. It's called the Berkshires Culture Salon. So if you could be so kind to help me find my mind, I'd like to thank you in advance. Know this before we start, my soul's been torn apart. I lost my mind in wild romance. I lost my mind in wild romance.